All right, students. So the next topic is after CAD and CAM, operational flexibility. So this is actually an ability of a business. Now, okay, let's have a look um, at the definition. It is the ability of a business to change the level of production and the range of products following a change in demand. That how quickly a business can respond, okay, to a change in the market. Like for example, now customers actually desire a different kind of a product. Okay, so for that, the business must have the ability to change their level of production. Now, here, level of production means whether they are able to produce more at a higher level or not. Okay, similarly, whether they are able to produce a variety of products, like maybe another range of products or not. Okay, obviously, it depends on the ability of a business whether they do it or not. But those businesses which have higher operational flexibility, they are more likely to be successful. Why? Because they can actually address to the changing needs of the people. Okay, and they can also satisfy if there is a sudden increase in demand. Okay, so it's not only about the quantity of the products which are desired by the people, it's about the variety of products as well, because you can see it's written in the range of products. Okay, whether they are have the capacity to produce different types of products as well or not. Okay, so it is a very important factor for the success of the business. Okay, now to do it, to have operational flexibility, there are various ways. One is increase capacity. So if you are able to increase your capacity, and that is only possible if now you are able to have more land, labor, capital. Okay, so it means that now you are able to produce more, and you will be able to handle the higher level demand as well. If demand increases all of a sudden as well. Okay, so this is one way. But yes, a disadvantage is that when you increase the capacity, you have to hire more workers, land, you have to buy capital, so it is expensive, and it's not that easy. If you borrow money from the bank, then you have to pay interest rate as well. Okay, or some businesses, they do not have sufficient amount of finance to go for this option, that is increasing capacity. Okay, second is hold high level of inventory. Okay, this is another way of dealing with it, or to have operational flexibility, that if businesses have high level of inventory, so if demand increases all of a sudden and supplier is not ready to supply because supplier cannot deliver the goods that much quickly, so because you already have the stock of raw material available, so you can quickly use it in the production process to make the products for the customer satisfaction. So this is how you can have operational flexibility as well, where other businesses might not be able to do it because they might not have enough stock available, and they may request the supplier, and supplier may take more time. Okay, so but you can do it because if you have high level of stock. But again, there are some drawbacks to it as well. One, risk of stock getting out of date. For example, you keep high level of stock, and demand does not increase as as you expect. Okay, so obviously then the raw material will go out of date, and you might not be able to use it in the future. Cash tied up, again, yes, you have bought raw material, and it is not being used in the production process. That cash could have been used somewhere else. Okay, but because you have bought raw material and now you are doing nothing with the raw material because demand is not increasing, so again it means that there's an opportunity cost involved. Cash is tied up there, and it could have been used somewhere else. Warehouse cost, again, yes, because you buy raw material, so you have to have a certain place where you can keep it, and for that you rent a warehouse where you have to pay rent, and that rent is a fixed cost. You know that doesn't matter whether you produce or not, you have to pay that fixed amount on regular basis. So this significantly reduces the amount of profit for the business as well if business is not actually using that raw material, and it's just staying there in that warehouse for nothing, right? So it means that accurate forecasts are very, very important, huh? Because although again nobody can say that they can actually have accurate, absolutely accurate forecast, but still you can forecast, and you can minimize the damage to the business if they use this second option, that is holding high level of inventory, because they can come to know how much inventory should be kept if they know how much demand is going to increase in the future, right? Then flexible workforce. Again, you can do it cheaper part-time workers. Now, flexible here means that whenever you want to increase the number of workers, you can, and whenever you want to reduce it, you can also do it. Huh? So for that, you actually keep part-time workers, because part-time workers, they might work for, let's say they work in peak season, and when peak season is over, so their contract is over, and in off-peak season, automatically the number of workers, they are reduced to a minimum, and in that way, business will not be uh, incurring high level of cost like payment of wages to workers. So this is also possible. So flexibility in as far as the quantity of workers are concerned, you can increase it anytime and you can decrease it as well. And there'll be no hue and cry as well. I'm telling you, there'll be no bad image at all, because you hire part-time workers and they know that after 3 months or 4 months, when the season will be over, their job will be over as well, and then they will be called again in the next season. So this is how you can do it as well. So you can. So this is flexibility, na? Increasing the number of workers at the time when peak season is there, and reducing it when off peak season starts. So, but still, when you do it and you start hiring part-time workers, so again there will be a demotivation among the workers as well who are full-time, because they might also like to have part-time job, or they might ask to leave. Why? Because sometimes they are asked to go part-time and they say no, we want to have a permanent job, so then they have to leave their job as well. So maybe a demotivation will prevail there in the business among permanent workers, because you know that you require permanent workers to a certain level. Okay, you require maybe a manager or maybe a supervisor, a watchman. Okay, so yes, we know that, but apart from that, when you start hiring part-time workers, or you actually force your workers to actually go part-time, so obviously it will reduce the amount of wage they earn as well. Huh? So they might accept that because if there is no other option, but a level of demotivation will be there, and they won't work to their potential. Okay, they won't work to the best of their ability, and whenever they will get another chance in some other organization, they will take no time to leave that business as well. Okay, and you know that part-time workers do not have other facilities as well, which permanent workers have. So again, this is a disadvantage as well for part-time workers who are being asked to go part-time, right? So that is why level of motivation will be reduced. And you know that what are the effects of lower level of motivation among workers? Lower quality, you can say, not entertaining customers to their satisfaction, bad image, loss of customers. Okay, so this is how you can develop it. Then flexible equipment. Yes, you can hire equipment which can actually perform different types of jobs, which can produce different types of products. Okay, you can hire it. Again, operational flexibility is there, because I told you earlier that operational flexibility is not only about increasing your level of production or reducing it. It's about the variety you can offer to your customers. Okay, the range of products you can produce. Okay, so for that you require flexible equipment, flexible workforce as well, people having multiple skills. Okay, so that they can produce different variety of items as well. So flexible workforce is not only about part-time workers, it's about having a mixed workforce where workers have different types of abilities, so which so they can pick and choose that which workers to keep when they are actually producing a certain type of products, and which workers uh, um, uh, to end the contract. Okay, like obviously you do not end the contract all of a sudden, so you tell them this is a 3 month contract or a 4 month contract, because you come to know that which part-time workers having what skills you require at a certain time of the year. Okay, so this actually increases the range of products a business can offer to the customers, and it actually gives them a competitive advantage as well. So flexible equipment actually does the same thing, but it is expensive, because a machine which can do more than one job at a time, so obviously that will be expensive. No? You understand that. All right, then we have another important concept, that is process innovation, and I saw a past paper question based on that as well. Now process innovation means, now here process means obviously the process which is there in the operations department, right? And innovation, doing something new. improvement in the process. Okay, this is what we call process innovation. Let's have a look at the definition. It is a use of new or significantly improved production and service delivery methods to remain competitive and meet customer demands. So remember, your focus should be on the use of new or significantly improved production and service delivery methods. Okay, this must be part of your definition. Okay, now it's written improved production methods, we understand that, but what is it? Service delivery methods. Why it is written? Okay, the reason is because all businesses do not produce goods. There are service businesses as well, which provide services to customers. That is why it is written, if you make changes in the process where you are able to improve your production process, or you can improve your service, the way you deliver it to your customers. Okay, be it banking services, medical services, or insurance services, transportation services. Okay, so if there is an improvement in that service which is provided to the customers, still it will be called process innovation. So it's not only about the process which is involved in the production of goods only. And what is the purpose? Why do you want to have process innovation? Why do you want to improve the production process or the service delivery method? The reason is you want to remain competitive, okay, and to meet the demand of your customers as well, because customers' demand keep changes, and you have to come up with improved products as well. So if you do not come up with process innovation, you might not be able to compete in the market and able to satisfy your customers. So now see how what are the advantages of process innovation. One, improves operational efficiency. Now what is it? Efficiency, you understand, it is directly related with lowering your cost of production, okay, or your average cost rather. So operational efficiency, when you produce something and you are able to save cost while producing, we call it there is an improvement in operational efficiency. So if now you come up with a new process of production which saves cost, okay, so it will definitely improve operational efficiency, right? Like for example, let me give you an example. If now you use an equipment, okay, and that equipment is an improved one compared to the other equipments, and it is very fast, and it does not make mistakes, better than other equipments in terms of producing quality products. So it will lead to operational efficiency, because now you do not have to rework, like you do not need to produce the product again, because all the products, they are being produced of the same quality, in fact of better quality. Okay, so cost is going to go down. Then improves quality as well. I told you earlier, quality is related with customer satisfaction. Okay, efficiency is related with reduction in cost in the production process, whereas quality is related with the requirement customer has, whether you are able to meet that requirement. If you are able to do it, then it means that you are actually producing quality products. So that can also be done with process innovation. Then, but there are some drawbacks, but significant amount of finance is required for process innovation. Think about introduction of new equipment throughout the organization, or a new method of production which is going to be used now, okay, and earlier it was not being used, and now you are going to install it in the whole organization. So again, it will take time as well, and it might consume a significant amount as well. Okay, then me too competitors. Yes, when you will do it, your competitors will not sit nice and relaxed. They will also research it, and they will find it that why you are having the advantage over them, and then they will be using the same process. And then the advantage you have because of that process innovation you actually had earlier, it will be gone. Okay, and then you have to come up with another process innovation. So it means it is a never ending process. You cannot actually sit back nice and relaxed by having a process innovation just one time, because your competitors will follow you, and sooner or later they will come up with the same process, and then your advantage will be lost, and then you have to come up with some other innovation there as well. So that is why we say me too competitors, that they will come up with a similar sort of processes, so that they will get the same advantage which you are having. All right. So now moving on to different production methods now. Okay. So there are different methods to produce goods and services. Let's discuss them one by one, but I'll actually tell you about them, um, not in detail actually, but I'll just give you an idea about the production methods and uh, what are the prominent features of these production methods. One is job production. Okay, job production means that when the production method is labor intensive. Labor intensive means when more of labor is used rather than machines. So exactly opposite of CAM, okay, or CIM, that is computer integrated manufacturing. So job production is sorry, job production involves manual labor, workers, lots of workers, okay, and they produce products exactly according to the requirements of the customers. So it does not mean that you do not use machine. They do use it. They do use it, but not to that extent. Think about a tailor. Obviously, they want to stitch clothes, and for that they require a machine. Okay, and but who actually works on those machines? Obviously, the workers. Okay, they work on it, and they actually make designs or they stitch clothes exactly according to the body measurement of the customers. So we can say that customized products are produced using this method of production. Okay, but you cannot produce products in larger quantity. Reason is because manual labor is involved, I told you earlier, and obviously they have a capacity. Okay, and that is very limited, huh? So that's why they might have very limited number of customers, but they will be satisfying them to to the maximum level, because customers will be getting exactly the product which they want. Okay, think about the tailor. Okay, you can get your clothes stitched exactly according to your want. Okay, okay, in comparison to if you buy it from the shop, you might get a reasonable um, clothes, but they might not be of the same level which you actually want, because you know that they are available in small size, medium, large, extra large. So if you, for example, you require clothes which are I think not small but not medium as well. So the size actually comes in between. So obviously the large businesses, they do not produce it. So obviously then you have to go to the tailor if you really want the clothes according to your own size and measurement. All right, like wedding cakes is one of the example. So for example, if you want a cake to be produced according to your own requirement, you want to have the topping of the cake according to your own requirement, okay, the design of the cake as well, it will be expensive, no doubt about that. Okay, but you are happy to pay for it. Why? Because you are getting the cake which you want. So these are not the cakes which are already there in the shop, okay, in the shelves, and you are just selecting which one to choose. Okay, no, it's not the case. So that's why it will be expensive, but it will give you greater amount of satisfaction there as well. Okay, then we have batch production here. Goods are produced in groups. Batch means group. Okay, so when goods are produced in groups, within that group all items are the same. Do remember, all items are the same. They look exactly the same. In fact, they are the same as well. But in another group, that is another batch, the items will be different. Like, okay, so bakery items, maybe brown biscuits are being baked. Okay, then maybe white biscuits are being, or coconut biscuits are being made. So this is how the products, they are actually produced in groups. So within the group, they are the same, but outside the group, they are different. Okay, okay. One of the most prominent feature of batch production is that within the group, all items, they move from one stage to another together. Right? For example, if they require oven to be baked, so obviously all biscuits, they will be sent to the oven together in one group, right? So it means that all products in the group, they move on from one stage to another together. This is very, very important. Okay. All right. And they are the business is able to produce a reasonable amount of goods in that way, because yes, there is some use of, in fact, greater use of machinery compared to job production. So they are quite fast in producing items because job production requires skilled workers, and skilled workers are expensive because every time you have to produce a different product, not in job production. So skilled workers will be required. They are not available easily, and you have to offer them a handsome salary package to attract them. So they will be expensive, and that production will be slow as well in job production. Whereas in batch production, you might not require skilled workers of that level, which are required in job production. Okay, and so cost might not be that much high. Secondly, you are able to produce a fairly large amount compared to job production because you are able to produce fairly quickly using machines as well. Okay, then we have flow production. So it means bakery items, they are actually produced in batches or they are produced using batch production. Then flow production. So like Coca-Cola, soft drinks, okay, chocolates, chewing gums. So there are many items which are actually used, they are produced using flow production. Flow production is highly capital intensive production. So you can say flow production is similar to CAM, computer aided manufacturing, where machines are there to perform the jobs. The workers are just there maybe to put the products in the box, or maybe they are there when the machine is not working properly. So they actually start addressing to that problem by repairing that part of the machinery. So otherwise, the machines are the main resource of that business. So flow production is again one of the advantages that they are able to produce in very large quantity and very quickly as well because machines do not require rest time and they can work 24 hours a day as well. Okay, and all goods are of standard quality. That is very important. Na? Standard means all look the same. The quality is the same for all the products. Huh? So this actually leads to good image of the product as well. I told you, but there is a disadvantage as well. People who actually want a product according to their own requirement, okay, they won't get it through flow production because all products are the same. So if they want something different, they won't get it from there. So businesses who are following flow production, they might lose some customers of that sort. So, but they are able to achieve economies of scale. Okay, and what are economies of scale? I will discuss it with you in the same chapter in the coming slides. But remember that economies of scale are the advantages which are enjoyed by those businesses which operate on a large scale. So in flow production, normally it is used by larger businesses and they operate on a large scale because they have to produce very large quantities. So they are able to achieve certain advantages which helps them to reduce their average cost. Like one of the example I can give it to you, very simple one, that because they produce in bulk, so that's why they buy in bulk as well, as far as the raw material is concerned. So when they buy raw material in bulk from the supplier usually offers them a trade discount, okay, because they are buying in bulk. So this is how they are able to reduce the cost of raw material. And the cost of production will also be on the lower side for the businesses who actually use flow production. But again, it's expensive as well because using capital intensive production is not cheaper, and you have to have a reasonable amount of finance available to do it. And then we have mass customization. This is actually a new concept coming in, and this is, as you can see that, okay, let me explain you. In job production, we say that customized products are produced, okay, according to the requirement of the customer. In flow production, mass production is done. Mass production means when production is done in very large quantity, we call it mass production. So now if you see this term mass customization, it is basically a mixture of job production and flow production, right? So mass means they produce in bulk. Customization means they still make changes so that they will be able to meet the needs of individual customers as well. But obviously they cannot actually change the whole product. Okay, what do? They actually keep the basic design the same, but they make some changes in the product so that it will suit the needs of the people as well. So this is how, that is why the word customization is there. Nike ID does that. Basic design is the same, maybe the sole of the shoe is the same, but they are able to change the color or the design of the shoe according to the requirements of the customers as well. So this is customization, okay? And they produce it in larger quantity. Like they produce the basic design in very large quantity, and then they make changes in it, and that means customization is done, and then they are delivered to the customers so that they will be satisfied with the product. Okay, all right. Cell production is there as well. Okay, sorry, just a minute. Now, cell production is, it is quite similar to specialization. So what do? You actually form different teams, okay, and you assign a certain task to each team, okay, and now that team is only responsible for that task. Now it will be decided by the team members which worker will perform what task, okay, and complete independence is given within that team. Like for example, if there is a car manufacturing plant, so maybe the one team is responsible to manufacture the doors of the car, okay. So that team is responsible for that, and now the team members will decide which worker will be doing what, okay, for manufacturing those doors. So independence is there, and they know that they are working as a team. So the spirit is very high when they work as a team, because obviously they have a target, like how many number of doors to be manufactured. That's why they actually put their heart and soul in it, and because they do the same job again and again, because the team has to just perform the same task, that is the manufacturing of doors. That's why they become expert in that, and that increases the quality of their work as well. So similar to specialization as well. So maybe in another, that's why we are calling it cell. So in another cell, okay, there is another team which might be responsible for manufacturing the engine of the car, or maybe the interior of the car, okay, or they might be there to paint the car, the body of the car, right? So they will be doing it, and because the same job will be done again and again, they will be expert in that, and obviously the quality of the work will be enhanced, okay, leading to good image of the business as well. So this is cell production is all about. But so all those teams who are working at their assigned task, they are called cells, because in each cell one identifiable part of the whole product is produced, and later on those parts are assembled to complete the product so that it can be converted into finished product. Okay, all right, that's all for today. See you in the next class.